Welcome to Fan TV and Chill.
We're Peaky Blinders. We're not scared of coppers.
On behalf of the Peaky Blinders and Tommy and Aston Villa, I'd just like to say a huge well done. They came through. They came through North London and they did their thing and they went back up to Brummie, all smiles. Listen, the Aston Villa curse continues. It's a madness. They did Liverpool, they did Arsenal. Obviously, they've got to come to OT, so we've got to be ready for them. But that's a madness. But anyway, shout out to Jackie and Jack Greenish for doing his thing. Anyway, let's get to it. Obviously, this week was a big game. Manchester City playing Liverpool and United versus Everton. And obviously, I've already said it. The mighty Gunners, 1 week, doing their thing at Old Trafford. As Damien said, dancing on the dance floor, dancing in the dance room, and putting it up on the Instagram. I didn't say shit this week. I didn't say no parties in North London. So let's get to it. So again, on behalf of the Peaky Blinders, over to you, Bilolo. Let's get to it.
Okay, Manchester City, Liverpool, biggest game of the weekend. And I predicted we were going to draw the game because obviously we playing City away from home, and it was a sort of game that they can't really afford to lose, and it would have helped us a lot if we got the 3 points. But I'm fairly happy with the results and the way we performed as well. Certainly in the first half, I thought we were the better team in the first 20, maybe 30 minutes. We started on the front foot, really positive, and I think I don't even know if City were caught by surprise by that, and we were lucky in a way. Were we lucky to get a pen? No, we weren't lucky to get a pen. I can't remember whether we created too many chances before that, but we were just playing well. We had a few decent passages. We kept the ball quite well, and we didn't really give them any opportunity. We got the pen. Decent play from Mane, just clever run. He put himself in a position where it was very uncomfortable. It's either Walker lets him go past him or he makes a challenge and then obviously ended up getting a pen. We know what the outcome is going to be if it's Mo Salah, excellent finish, tactic, no problems at all. And then after that, we were still playing slightly better than City until, you know, they had their spell, maybe 5 minute spell. We might have switched off or slow down a little bit, and it's that man again, De Bruyne, of all the people. If you're gonna give him time and space on the ball, and a clever pass to Jesus, but I felt like even though it was a good goal, I felt like we could have done better. Whether we needed a central midfielder there to cover or Trent should have done better, because it felt almost like too easy. You know, how is a man turning you? Like when you should be playing behind him. So if he's gonna turn, at least he's running into you. I thought Trent is between, like, poor communication definitely between Trent and whoever the centre back was closest to him. Maybe Matip. They should have closed that gap a bit more. But again, teams like good teams. One little lapse of concentration or error, they're gonna punish you, and then that's exactly what they done. And then after that, we slowed down. Whether it's because they were better or because we just got tired, because we never really had many players in midfield, and so they were able to kind of control the game a little bit more from then. De Bruyne had a shot from far, but it was given time and space again, and then it ended up getting a penalty. Both penalties, our penalty was a pen. I felt like their pen, you can see where it was given as well to some extent. You can say it's harsh, but at the end of the day, the way the new rules are, if your arm is slightly away from your body, it's being given a pen. So you can't really debate. But yeah, lucky days for us. De Bruyne just didn't have his shooting boots on. It's one of them, but I felt because of the quality of our keeper helped kind of play the part to him missing, because he's thinking, Alisson is a good keeper. He's tall. So if I'm gonna put it in the corner, I have to be quite precise and spot on. And I think he went for that sort of bottom corner, but luckily for us, he just got it wrong. It doesn't happen too often, but we're not complaining. Second half, I always felt like City were gonna come back and dominate, because we played with two central midfielders, and they were, of all the teams to be outnumbered in midfield, City are not the one, because we know how good they are like keeping the ball. So it was a brave call, but I feel like it's more credit to Jota, how he's been performing. But at the same time, Klopp couldn't really not play Firmino in a big game. So it was one of those kind of a manager's headache. But again, super brave for him to play all of them. But I felt like we were just being overrun and overpowered in midfield. And the players just look really tired as well. So they never really created much. I think we were a lot more conservative in that second half. I can't even remember. I think there was a moment that Jota had an opportunity where you could say half a chance, but Edison made an error. The ball went back inside the box to Jota. I felt like a bit more composure there. If he connects it well, he's hitting the target, he's probably scoring. But then I can't remember too much if they had many clear-cut moments. But I felt second half City were the better team in terms of keeping the ball, but we were better just in terms of staying compact and not really giving them much space. They, no overlapping runs, nothing like that. So it was a very interesting tactical game, because you could see it towards the end that City definitely didn't want to risk it and then push forward and give us an opportunity to counter and win the game. And equally, we would have been the happier team with a draw anyway, because that means we're still above them and then they're not catching up to us. Yeah, and good performance. Slight luck was on our side, but I felt like overall, with the slight chances that we created, with how we started the game, and the manager's bravery in playing all the four strikers in the first half, I felt like we deserved to get a draw out of that game. Just to finish, special mention, as we always do when there's all three of us here. There's only one winner for this, quite easy. What an amazing victory by Aston Villa. It wasn't so long ago certain man were here, dressed like a Congolese brother and that. And celebrating, sipping champagne because again, like the Peaky Blinders done a thing over us. But you know what? The comeback was sweet, innit? And they played at their ground as well. Imagine, I'm pretty sure they played at Arsenal. So yeah, 3-0. Can't really say much. I can't think of any other team. But so yeah, big shout out to Villa, and this is it. That's it. So we go again.
Arsenal versus Aston Villa. You go from bantering the Man United supporter the week before because you get a good away win. A bit more brash with it. I'm just saying, because I was cocky then. Well, I wasn't cocky. I'm never really overly cocky, but like you said, to this week being bantered by a Man United supporter, the perils of being an Arsenal supporter in a nutshell. Anyway, into the game. So, I think I said in the preview that I think in the centre I wanted to see Partey and Ceballos. The reason why, like I said, it is because I wanted to have more impetus and obviously more creativity from Ceballos in regards to what El Nene would do, because obviously we want to be competitive in the Man United game, but obviously in this game we wanted to be more on the front foot, because obviously in this game we're more on the front foot, and obviously in that game it's more of a counter-attacking kind of play. Anyway, so we went with Partey and El Nene. Not that I have any issues with him going with that, because obviously the way that they played in the previous game, I can't really blame him for not going with that same midfield too. Regardless on obviously Aston Villa's form, which is been not great in the last two, which have lost the last two, given that they did win their first, I think it was 3 games or something like that, including the 7-2 against Liverpool. I even said in the preview that I expected a win. I went on and said I expected a 1-goal win due to how they've been playing previously, not from the 2 defeats that they've had. Obviously, we go into the game on a high from the Man United away win, and obviously a perceived structure. But I just feel like this season and how things are going to go now, we're going to get these kind of games that come. Like the teams that I think are in and around us, like Man United, Tottenham. You can possibly put Chelsea into this as well, Leicester as well. You put due to the class of our teams, I feel like you can get these kind of results that will come up. But yeah, anyway, back onto the game. So we start the game off, and like I said to Willis last week in regards to Ollie and how his team are playing in regards to having an onus and having to take the game by the scruff of the neck. I don't feel as if our team is, and how Arteta's got a set up is good enough tactically to be able to take a game and take the game by the scruff of the neck. I feel like we're tactically set up to be the underdog and hit a team on the counter. So, given that, it was weird because we not only did we lose against Aston Villa, we got outplayed. Like Grealish, who I've said on here that I rate as a player, he made Bellerin look average, given how Bellerin played in the Man United game. Bellerin looked average. There's one bit where he just shoulders him, and Bellerin goes flying. Like, but anyway, yeah. So we start off the game. Like even in the game, like it goes back to what I said in regards to our creativity. We're not creating enough chances to then take control of a game. Like in this game, like Aston Villa had more chances. They had more play. They had more. We didn't play in regards to defending wise. We didn't play like we did against Man United. We stifled the way that they play. We didn't stifle the way Aston Villa. It's like we allowed them to play how they wanted to play on our pitch. Which, if you give a team, especially given that Aston Villa lost the last 2, if you're going to give a team, it's like how we were away to Man United last week. If you give a team a confidence, that confidence is going to build and build and build. Then they will start playing, and then they will start doing things that they wouldn't usually do. So we started giving Aston Villa confidence, and then they started creating chances. They had a goal disallowed in the first 2 minutes, I think it is, which for me was rightly disallowed. Shot come in from McGinn in our box. Ross Barkley was jumped up and was kind of in Leno's eye line, which then affected him being able to save it, which I feel like was just worthy. So obviously after that, again, we just didn't play. Like that was a sign. Like if you ever need a sign to like buck your ideas up, that's a sign there, which we didn't take. We then carry on. Didn't make any difference in the game. Didn't give you kind of impetus, because stuff like that should, as a player, as a top class player, should make you want to play better. But for some reason we stayed in our show. I don't know. Maybe it was just easier last week in regards to morale because we're playing against Man United, and obviously the Arsenal Man United rivalry than it is to play at home to Aston Villa. But yeah, players that I want to pick up for Aston Villa, obviously Grealish, like I said, Ross Barkley played well, McGinn, Ollie Watkins. I think the other guy, I think on the left side is called Target. I think he played well also, and obviously Trezeguet. They scored their first goal, I think, in the 25th minute. It was like, I can't remember if it started from a corner or whatever, but it was on our left side, and then I just don't feel as if our defenders wanted to make a tackle. Ross Barkley had the ball at one point, and he's kind of like fainting as if he's going to do something, or fainting as if he's going to dummy a pass or something like that, and then it was like our defenders were just standing there waiting for him to make a movement. Like I'm saying, don't let them dictate their movement. You go in make a challenge, because it's not like he's in the box and you can't touch him. They're outside the box. It's cool, and then they were like flicking it between each other. Then next thing you know, we got played, and then I think that's when the ball got played across, and then it was played across goal. Saka then is on the left hand side, our left hand side, their right hand side, and I think it was a kind of a coming together between there and then Trezeguet, and it kind of went in off of Saka, which then they scored. That's their first. We're going to half time, obviously 1-0 down. You're expecting now I'm expecting like to go into the second half. You're expecting to I don't know, like play a bit better, hear something from your manager, your team to come out in the second half with impotence and think to yourself, you know what, let's take control of this game, let's get ourselves back in this game. It just didn't happen. Like it was too many poor performances in regards to last week where there were so many good performances. Too many poor performances. Obviously, Partey, he went off beginning of the second half. I don't know if it was due to injury or tactical, but he went off. Ceballos came on, but still, we didn't make a difference. Like, too many players didn't show up. Tierney didn't show up. Bellerin didn't show up. Aubameyang didn't show up. Lacazette didn't show up. Pepe, when he came on, Willian, no one's showing up. Like, El Nene, dilly-dally on the ball in the middle, just didn't show up. And it was just a mad contrast from last week when all these players that I'm naming, probably barring Pepe, obviously, because came on the bench, all these players that I'm naming all showed up last week. And it can't be a thing where like you want to show up in the so-called big games, but then want to hide in the games that you should be expected to win. But like I said, at the end of the game, Arteta said, let me get back to that, I'll go back onto that. So obviously, yeah, so they scored their second, I think in the 75th minute. Ollie Watkins, the same Ollie Watkins that scored 2 against Liverpool, probably should have had more, scored 2 against us. It's just poor. It's just poor. Not that the fact that he scored the 2 goals, the fact that we just didn't like take control of the game at any point. We didn't show that we wanted to win the game. We didn't play for the badge or anything like that. It was just poor. We ended up losing the game 3-0 at home, which is poor. I know obviously after we started the game above us in the league, but still it's just not good enough. Like if we're a team that we want to get somewhere, we want to and we want to rise, like I thought we was on a rise, you have to show more. You have to show more in games. It's just not good enough. Arteta said after the game that he wants to take blame for the defeat. I personally feel like he's just trying to save his players, if I'm being honest. Like it's not like they scored a late goal and we lost, or we played poor through the game and they scored a late goal and we lost. We played poor from minute 1 to minute 90. So you're going to get your players in at half time. You're going to have a talk. I'm saying it's your job to spur them on. If you cannot get your players up for these kind of games, then it shows a lack of tactical. I keep saying tactical. It shows a lack of tactical nous when you go into kind of games, because there's 19 other teams in the league. You have to be ready for every single challenge that you're going for, and you can't go into games not being tactically aware of who you're facing. But yeah, after that, so yeah, that's all I want to really say on the matter. I'd say for special mention, it's weird that I say this, but special mention for me has to go to Aston Villa, because not only did they beat us at our own ground, they outplayed us at our own ground. So I'd give it to Aston Villa a special mention for the week. I don't know what the other boys will say. I'm pretty certain they'll probably agree with me and say Aston Villa also, but we'll see on their videos. But yeah, Aston Villa for a special mention, 3-0 away win. Yeah.
Alright, cool. So let's get to it. Everton versus Manchester United at Goodison Park. Carlo Ancelotti. Could man do the Italian job? Well, he's been doing bits lately, but obviously when you come up against a big boy, you know what I'm saying? Big boy in that. Italian job part 4 or something, he's going to try to do us. Obviously, I'm just saying, I hope he gave them man some lasagna, some pasta, some meatballs, some pizza. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you've seen The Sopranos, so whenever you're coming up against an Italian, it's always a tricky situation. But anyway, had a job to do. So Everton have been in good form, and it's a game we needed to obviously we needed to win. Like obviously going off last week losing against Aston, a shocking performance, and then obviously midweek again shocking performance midweek in the Champions League. We needed to really win this game. However we did it, we just needed to win it. So how did we start? How did the game start? The game we started off very lethargic, and we weren't quick to the ball. And Everton started off much better, and they were creating chances, and they looked like they that first, especially that first I would say that first half an hour, 25 minutes to half an hour, Everton looked much better than us, and they looked like they wanted to win the game, and they were showing the kind of form that's put them into the league position that they were obviously in before the game. And obviously they started off well. Bernard obviously found himself some space, took on a few players and put the ball in the back of the net. What can I say about that? I wouldn't say that goal was bad defending. It was outside their 18-yard box. Players are going to shoot. David De Gea was a bit unsighted, and it goes in, and we're 1-0 down. So that it was well played from Everton, and I wouldn't say it was bad defending from us either. And then obviously we're 1-0. When we went 1-0 down, I was thinking, oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking hell, we gotta get it together. I was sitting there thinking, I hope Ollie has had a good team talk, that you know what, that they stay focused, and they stay focused, their minds stay on the pitch, and they stick to the game plan. And they did. So we did do that. We stayed focused. Obviously I think Everton had a chance where the left back, the French left back, had a chance to put it across. And then Lindelof left his position to come across, which then actually I don't think it was Digny who had the ball, but Lindelof came out of his position. Digny seen that space open up, and he ran into it, and all of a sudden we're opened up. Luckily he chose to have a shot, so more time than not beating David De Gea's near post is going to be difficult beating any keeper at the near post, let alone David De Gea standing. And luckily he had a shot, and it was shit. But really, he should have passed. He should have crossed it across the goal line, and Calvin Lewis would have had it. If David De Gea doesn't get it, Calvin Lewis then has a chance to take the game to 2-0 up Everton. If we then in that position where we're losing more than 2, judging by how it's been going, I don't know if we're going to come back. But obviously, moving forward in the first half, like I said, we stuck to the game plan, and we kept moving forward, and we kept attacking. And obviously, Luke Shaw put it into Bruno. Great header and great goal. What we'll say about Bruno, that positioning to get into the box and timing to get into the two defenders, in between those two defenders, was excellent. Because really, somebody should have been on Bruno, but nonetheless, he gets the goal, and we're 1-1, and all of a sudden we're back in the game. And I will say, well done, Luke Shaw. Like I say, he's been doing the last few games. He has been trying to do a lot more to get to the byline and be involved into the game. And then obviously carrying on to the first half, we go and we turn it around, and obviously Bruno goes to cross it into Rashford. Rashford tries to get ahead on it, doesn't get it, and then it ends up into the back of the net. And then all of a sudden the game's changed, and momentum has changed hands, and it's back with us. And then we're 2-1 up. And Everton, I think Everton for the first maybe 20 or half an hour again of the second half, Everton were more at it than we were, and we were kind of backpedaling at times and just defending. Which, when I looked at the overall game, I did the amount of times where, don't get me wrong, Everton are a quality team, but I felt there was too many times in the game where we let Everton have the game. And I felt as if, why can't we get on the ball and keep it and try to control the game? I felt as if Everton were doing that much better than we were, which I kind of felt a bit strange, because, like I said, Everton are a quality team, but it's not as if we're coming up against Tottenham, Chelsea, Man City, or even Arsenal or Liverpool. We can get the ball and we can keep it and we can control the game, but it didn't feel like that was what we were trying to do. We were letting them have the ball and sit back, kind of inviting them. to try and score really. And then second half, again, there wasn't too much. I think it was just, I can't remember if this was the first half or the second half, when Fred passed it into Rashford, and Rashford, I think that was second half when Fred pinks it over to Rashford. Rashford should score. But that is what I'm saying. That's going to be the difference. Again, if we're going to challenge for the top four, chances like that, because don't get me wrong, the game could have gone differently. Everton score, all of a sudden it's 2-2, game looks different. But that chance there, whether it's Martial, whether it's Rashford, whether it's Cavani, whether it's Greenwood, that has to end up into the back of the net. Last minute counter attack onto Cavani, and Bruno to Cavani. Cavani gets his first goal. That's a mighty goal, and I hope that gives him, because we need somebody else who's hungry to score goals in the team. We definitely need somebody else who's hungry for that, and hopefully Cavani getting his first goal will make him even more hungry to go and get more goals, because we need that in the team from coming from different positions, because sometimes I feel as if Martial doesn't perform, Rashford doesn't perform, Bruno can be a bit, Bruno sometimes may be off it. We just need even a fourth player, Pogba, or a fifth player, Cavani, that can just get us a goal, just to get a 1-0 win, or just get us that second goal that gets us all 3 points. And obviously, touching on something Ollie did mention about the congestion of the fixtures. Yeah, again, I will say it's hard when, you know, again, Ollie was right actually. I couldn't understand that, how we were playing midweek and then all of a sudden we're kicking off on Saturday at half 12. I don't understand why we couldn't play either later in the day or just the next day. Again, I guess it comes down to football channels dictating the schedules, but like with the way things have been this season and the shortening down, I think there's got to be a lot more that needs to be done to try and sort that out, because it's not just going to affect us, it's going to affect everybody playing in Europe. It's going to affect. But yeah, so massive 3 points, very important. Obviously, shout out to Arnold, the pagan. Hey, Arnold, that's 3 losses now. That's 3 losses. If you want to cash out on your bet, just call me. I'm calling. 6 a.m. Don't call me at 6 a.m. That's only for the gang. But call me at 6 p.m. and I'll let you cash out. Yeah? Cool. Anyway, on behalf of the Peaky Blinders, please subscribe to the channel. Tune in. And, before I go, sorry. How could I not special mention Aston Villa? Brummy and that. Like, listen, if I had the little cap, I'd have the little cap on and I'd put it on backwards right now. That's what Aston Villa did to Arsenal. I would have to put the little cap on backwards so it looks like a snapback. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's the damage they did. But yeah, special mention this week has to be to Aston Villa. And you know what? I've never been 100% completely a Jack Greenish fan, but you know what? The guy's playing well. He's getting goals and he's getting assists. And you know what? If he carries on doing the things he's doing and everything, I would not mind to see him at United. Because we need a player who'll get a goal, who'll be creative, and who'll actually fight for the team. But yeah, so special mention goes out to Aston Villa. Thank you very much for putting Arsenal back down in their place. I appreciated it. And as I was saying, on behalf of the Peaky Blinders and Aston Villa, please subscribe. Please comment in the section. If you think one of us is talking shit as usual, please let us know. But until next week, thank you for watching and peace out.
We're playing the cross in 10 minutes. Come on! Go on. Yeah! Welcome to the Ollie Out Show. Joking, it's Manchester United 3, Everton 1, post-match reaction. We played quite well for the first half, I'd say, and managed to control the game towards the second part of the first half. Although we went down 1-0 down. Lindelof, what are you doing, mate? Like, you've got to be stronger. You've got DCL there, who's obviously one of the best strikers in the air at the moment, you've got to bully him, you've got to put him off, you've got to make sure you're getting that first ball, then you're allowing him just to take that ball down and do a weak header. And then into Bernard, and then the next thing you see, he just shifts it, and Wan-Bissaka's not tight enough, and it's in the back of the net. Poor goal to concede, which is what's been our downfall throughout Ollie's reign, to be honest. But yeah, so after that we managed to get a goal back. Bruno Fernandes header. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was screaming at Luke Shaw to put it in a bit earlier, but gets a good ball in. Bruno, bang, goal. We're back in the game. And then after Bruno plays a lovely ball into Rashford, and Rashford can't finish his dinner when it's right in front of him. But luckily Bruno puts it into the right area, goes into the back of the net as well. Puts us 2-1 up, and yeah. So you think we can kick on here? Let's get the next goal, but no, we sit back throughout the second half, invite loads of pressure, and luckily it literally just towards the dying minutes, Edison Cavani, congratulations son, gets his first goal to make it 3-1. But all in all, in terms of the standard of play, it's not good enough. We're up to, I think, 10th now or 13th. We're on 10 points, but 6 points off the top. Still a lot of football to play. So yeah, let's just try and get some consistency and go. But Ollie survives another day. What can we do?
So I've got 2 minutes to talk about that absolute disaster class. Start of the game, I predicted 2-1 just because I'm an Arsenal fan, and you know, we win a game and I get overconfident, and then the next game comes and I realise that we're absolutely terrible. I think Arteta lined up wrong. If Partey's injured, I'm going to be absolutely gutted. He's probably the only player who deserved to be on the pitch tonight, and he went off at half time. Lacazette is so past it. He's like our version of Firmino, except he brings nothing to the game instead of just bringing no goals or assists to the game. Villa are playing so well at the minute, man. Like, they did such great summer business, and Grealish is absolutely class. At one point, he was outpacing Hector Bellerin, for God's sake. And I mean, I just don't know what to say anymore. I think Lacazette with the header, he should have. You get taught to head the ball down. What's he doing? He hasn't even jumped. He hasn't even left the ground. It's just basically smashed him in the face and gone over the bar. I don't want to. To be honest, I don't want to talk about it. To be fair, but there's nothing to talk about. There's no fighting for the badge. Nobody even cares. Like, I don't feel like they're going to go home and be annoyed now. They're going to go home and sit in their mansions. It costs them 20-odd million each, and just be with their supermodel girlfriends and just doing nothing. They don't care. There's no care in the ground. If I'm Arteta, like, I'm a big backer of Arteta, but today was the first time I've been like, nah, mate, like, you've got it completely wrong. At half time as well, when we were getting hammered from the get-go, like, you have to change something. Change is nothing. I'm really looking forward to seeing Martinelli come back, and I think when he does, you have to play Aubameyang, Martinelli up top in a 2 with an attacking midfielder behind. I'm not sure how to say his name, but Dominic Szoboszlai, or Sabazala, or whatever his name is, don't know how to say it. We need to get him in. Obviously, we've got Ozil, but for some reason Ozil's not in. So he must have done something mad to annoy the board, or that's the only thing I can think of. But we need them 2 up top with an attacking midfielder behind. We need someone playing the balls in 1-2s. That's the way to get behind these defences, not just playing out to the wing. I mean, Tierney tonight was dreadful, and Bellerin didn't play all that. Got absolutely weighted by Grealish at one point. I seen Gabriel, Partey, and Aubameyang. And Aubameyang played terrible tonight as well, but Aubameyang is Aubameyang, you know, he's our talisman at the moment, or at least was before this season. And yeah, I thought we'd win 2-1, we got absolutely hammered 3-0, and they had a goal disallowed that probably shouldn't have been disallowed a couple of years ago, but it is what it is. We played absolutely terrible, and we're not even the team that we were 5 years. I don't know. I just don't know.